Hello, Chris here. In this video, we're gonna make a well scene in Blender. So first open Blender, select all using A key, then press delete to delete everything. Now we need to add a plane, shift plus A, mesh, plane. Now we need to rename this plane. So select the plane, press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to well brick. Then press enter. Now select the plane, go to edit mode using tab, select all using A key, S to scale, 0.1, press enter. Press period key in the number to focus on that one. Go to front view using number 1, come out of front view, G to move, X to move along X-axis, 1, press enter. This will move 1 meter to here. Now R to rotate, X to rotate among X-axis, 90 degree, press enter. Now we need to add a screw modifier to this. So go to modifier properties, add modifier, screw modifier. Now we go to something like this. I'm gonna change this viewport and render to 32. Now we got something like this. Now we need to add a bevel modifier. So go to modifier properties, add modifier, bevel modifier. I'm gonna change this to 0.02. Now it's looking good. Then go to object mode using tab. I'm gonna apply both of these modifiers. So apply the screw modifier first, then apply the bevel modifier. Then select this, go to edit mode using tab, go to edge selection mode. Select these edge rings randomly. So I'm gonna select this using alt left click, then shift alt left click this one randomly, maximum of 3 and a minimum of 1. And that's selected this. Control plus B to bevel it to here, increase the number to 2 like this. Left click to confirm, go to this operator panel. I'm gonna change this width to 0.02, same as this width, as you can see, and minimize this. Then control plus minus in the keyboard, this will select the middle loop only. Now change this pivot point to individual origins, S to scale, and scale it to something like this. So you can see it's looking good now. Then go to object mode using tab. Now we got something like this, as you can see. Now go to front view using number 1. Now we need to duplicate this and place it here. Select this, shift plus D to duplicate, Z to move along Z axis, and place it here. Turn on snapping and change this to increment and absolute grid snap. G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Shift plus D again, place it here. Select these 3, shift plus D again, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. And I'm gonna duplicate this once more, shift plus D again, Z to move along Z axis, right click to cancel, go to front view, G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Now we go to well here, select this bottom one, go to front view, S to scale, and scale it a little big to make something like this. Go to front view again, G to move, Z to move, and move it to here. Now select the top one, go to edit mode using tab, go to face selection mode, alt left click this one, control plus to increase the selection to here. Change this to median point, S to scale, shift Z to not to scale among Z axis and scale it a little. Now alt left click this one, S to scale, Z to scale among Z axis, 0, press enter. Now this will remove these bevels at the top, as you can see. Now we need to rotate this, go to object mode, select this one, R to rotate, Z to rotate among Z axis and make something like this, and rotate all of this to make a random shape. Select this one, go to edit mode using tab, go to edge selection mode, alt left click this edge, press F in the keyboard to fill that. We can apply a bottom material to this face to make water inside our well. Now that we got this, we need to make the base for our well. Go to object mode again, shift plus A, we need to add a cylinder. Go to this menu, radius to 3 meter and depth to 0.1. Go to edit mode using tab, select this face, go to face selection mode, select this face, press X in the keyboard, select faces. This will delete that face, as you can see. Then go to object mode. Now we need to move this to the bottom. Go to front view using number 1, G to move, Z to move, and move it to here. Select all this, G to move, Z to move, and move it to here, something like this. And select this, turn on vertex snapping. Select this, go to front view using number 1, G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Now select this one, go to edit mode using tab, Alt left click this one, Control plus B to bevel, decrease the number to 1 to make something like this. Select this face by going to face selection mode, S to scale, and make something like this. Go to object mode. Now we need to add a plane to make ground. Shift to plus A, mesh, plane. Go to front view using numbered 1. G to move, Z to move. Again, G to move, Z to move. Place it here. S to scale, scale it to make the floor. Now we need to rename this. Select this, press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to ground. Select this, press F2, change the name to well base. Now we need to move these bricks to a new collection. Select all this, press AM in the keyboard, create a new collection, well bricks. We need to add a cube, shift to plus A, mesh, cube. Need to rename this cube. Select the cube, press F2, change the name to wooden beam. Need to move this to a new collection. Select this cube, press M in the keyboard, create a new collection, wooden beams. Then OK. Now select this cube, S to scale, 0.1, press enter. Control plus A, scale. Now we need to apply the scale to everything. So select all using A key, Control plus A, scale. That way we wouldn't have any problems in the future. So select this. We need to add a mirror modifier to this. So in order to do that, we need to add an empty, shift plus A, empty, line axis. Select the empty, press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to mirror 0.1. Select the cube, G to move, X to move along X axis, and place it here. I'm going to turn off snapping, G to move, X to move, I'm going to place it here. Now we need to add a mirror modifier to this cube, add modifier, mirror modifier, change this mirror object to mirror 0.1. As you can see, we got a mirror on the other side like this. Make sure the X axis is turned on, turn on clipping. Now select this, G to move, Z to move along Z axis, place it above the ground. Turn on face project, G to move, Z to move along Z axis, and place it here. Now it's on this face, as you can see. It's not floating above the ground like before. Turn off snapping, select this cube, go to edit mode using tab, select the top face, go to front view using numbered 1. We need to extrude this. So G to move, Z to move along Z axis, and place it here. Go to side view using number 3. So we need to add a loop cut, Control plus R in the keyboard. Increase the number to 3. Left click, right click. Turn on X-ray mode. Select this edge loop, G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Then select this, G to move, Z to move. I'm gonna place it here. Then select this, G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Now turn off X-ray mode, go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select this face, go to side view using number 3, Alt to plus E in the keyboard, extrude faces along normals, and extrude it to here. Now select this face, shift to select this face, go to side view, Alt to plus E in the keyboard, extrude faces along normals, and extrude it to something like this. Looks good. G to move, Z to move along Z axis, place it here. Make sure it's not on top of this face. Then Control plus R in the keyboard, left click, slide the loop cut to here. Control plus R, left click, slide the loop cut to here. Go to face selection mode, select these 3 faces. I'm gonna select this one too. Make sure clipping is turned on, E to extrude, and extrude it to here. Since we turned on clipping, this will clip properly, as you can see. Now we need to add a loop cut here. Go to side view using number 3, Control plus R in the keyboard, increase the number to 2, left click, right click, Control plus R, increase the number to 2, left click, right click, Control plus R, increase the number to 2, left click, right click. Go to X-ray mode, select this loop cut, G to move, Y to move along Y axis. I'm gonna place it here. Turn off X-ray mode, go to face selection mode, select these 2 faces, shift to select these faces, zoom into one, I to insert, make something like this. Select these 2 faces, go to edge, bridge edge loops. Then go to this menu, change the number of cuts to 1. Now select this, shift to select this, edge, bridge edge loops, increase the number of cuts to 1. Then go to side view again using number 3. Go to X-ray mode again. Select this edge loop by going to edge selection mode. G to move. Gonna place it here. Now shift to select these two. To go to this pivot point, change this to individual origins, S to scale, and make something like this. Then Control plus B to bevel. Bevel it here, increase the number to something like 4. So you can see we got a curve like this. Come out of X-ray mode. Select this face by going to face selection mode. Shift to select this face. Shift plus D to duplicate. Right click to cancel any movement. Then S to scale. Go to side view using number 3. S to scale. I'm gonna scale it a little. Then E to extrude and extrude it to here. Select this, press L in the keyboard, Control plus B to bevel, increase the number to 0 like this. Now we need to add loop cuts here and here. Go to side facing number 3, Control plus R in the keyboard, left click, slide the loop cut to here. Do the same on this side, Control plus R, slide the loop cut to here. Now we need to place 5 loop cuts. Left click, right click to cancel any movement. Control plus R, increase the number to 5. Left click, right click. Now go to X-ray mode. Shift to select these loop cuts. Make sure we didn't select this one or this one. You only need to select the newly formed loop cuts. Come out of X-ray mode, go to side view. Control plus B to bevel. Bevel it to make something like this. Go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select these faces. E to extrude, since we turned on individual origins, it will extrude it like this, which is good for us. Select these faces. Make sure clipping is turned on. E to extrude and extrude it to something like this. Now we got slacks so that we can place the roof tiles properly. Now we need to add a cylinder to place it here. Go to object mode using tab. We need to add a cylinder. Shift plus A, mesh, cylinder. Go to this menu, change this to vertices to 12, radius to 0.1 and depth to 2. R to rotate, Y to rotate among the axis, 90 degree, enter. Go to front view using number 1, G to move, Z to move and place it here. Now S to scale, I'm gonna scale this a little to make something like this. S to scale, X to scale among X axis and place it here. Then Control plus A, scale. We need to move this to the wooden beam collection. So select this, press M in the keyboard, select the wooden beams collection. So you can see this will move that to here. You can rename this if you want. I'm gonna rename that after we're done with this. Select this, go to edit mode using tab, go to front view, need to place loop cuts in this model. I'm gonna place 6 loop cuts, Control plus R, increase the number to 6, left click, right click, go to X-ray mode, select this one, G to move, X to move and place it here. Select this, G to move, X to move, place it here. Now we need to select these edge loops, shift to select these ones. Then Control plus B to bevel, decrease the number to 1 like this. Now go to face selection mode, select this face loop, shift to select this face loop and shift to select this face loop. Yes to scale, shift X to note the scale among X axis and make something like this. Maybe we can scale this down a little. Come out of X-ray mode. Now we got something like this. Select this face, E to extrude and extrude it a little. Hold to left click to select this face. Hold to plus E in the keyboard, extrude individual faces and extrude it to here to make something like this. Make sure the individual origins is selected. Yes to scale and scale it to make tip smaller like this. Now select this face, Control plus plus to increase the selection to here, then Control plus minus and select it to this point. Then Shift plus S, cursor to selected. This will place the 3D cursor at the center of the scene like this. Then Shift plus A, torus. Go to this operator panel, change this major segments to 16, minor segments to 5. I'm gonna change this minor radius to here. major radius to something like this. I'm going to change this to 0.02. Then minimize this. R to rotate, Y to rotate among y-axis 90 degree, end up. Go to side view using number 3. Control plus 3 to go to left of the graphic. S to scale it to something like this. Now we need to increase this thickness. So Alt plus S in the keyboard and increase the thickness to make something like this. Now we need to make 2 loop cuts here. Control plus R, increase the number to 2, maybe 1. Left click, right click. Control plus B to bevel, make something like this. Now select this face using face selection mode. Shift to select these faces. Go to front view using numbered 1. E to extrude. X to extrude among x-axis and place it here. S to scale. X to scale among x-axis. 0, press enter. Now we need to enable an add-on. So go to edit. Preferences, go to add-ons, then type in loop tools and make sure this mesh loop tools add-on is enabled. There is a tick in this box, then close this window. Then select these faces, right click, loop tools, circle. This will make it into a circle like this, as you can see. Go to front view using numbered 1, G to move, X to move and place it here. S to scale a little, E to extrude, S to scale a little, E to extrude, then E to extrude a little, S to scale a little, E to extrude to make a handle, then E to extrude again, S to scale, G to move, X to move and place it here. Now we got a handle. Select this face, G to move, X to move along x-axis, place it here, then E to extrude, S to scale a little, then E to extrude again, then E to extrude a little, S to scale to make something like this. Go to object mode using tab, we need to correct the normals for our faces. Go to the overlays, turn on face orientation. As you can see, our well is not corrected. So select these ones, go to edit mode using tab, select all using a key, then press shift plus N in the keyboard. This will recalculate the normals. Then go to object mode. Now the normals are corrected. Go to the overlays, turn off face orientation. Now we need to make a water port. So in order to do that, shift plus A, mesh. I'm gonna add a cylinder. Go to this menu, change the vertices to 8, change the radius to 0.25, depth to 0.8. Select this, go to local view using /, go to edit mode using tab, go to front view, I'm going to go to X-ray mode, select these faces by going to face selection mode, S to scale a little, select this face, S to scale and scale it to here. Now E to extrude, S to scale a little to make something like this, Control plus R, left click, slide the loop cut to here, go to face selection mode, select this face loop, S to scale, shift to Z, scale it to something like this. Control plus R, increase the number to 2, left click, right click, select this one, GG, slide it to here, select this one, GG, slide it to here. Then shift to select these two, Control plus B to bevel and make something like this. I to insert and place it here, S to scale and make something like this. Come out of X-ray mode, select this face by going to face selection mode, go to X-ray mode, I to insert, go to front view, E to extrude and extrude it to here, S to scale and scale it to here. Then come out of X-ray mode, go to top view using numbered 7, select this face, shift to select this face, I to insert it to here. Then go to this transform orientation, change it to normal, S to scale, Y to scale among y-axis and scale it to here. Then change this back to global. Now that two faces is selected, go to edge, bridge edge loops. This will bridge edge loops like this. Increase the number of cuts to 1. Then go to edge selection mode, select this edge, we need to turn on face orientation, then select this top face, G to move, Z to move a little, then Alt left click this one, G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here, go to front view. Then Alt left click this one to select that edge loop, then Control plus B to bevel and increase the number to something like this. Turn off face orientation. Now go to object mode using tab, come out of local view using /. We need to move this to here. Shift right click to place the 3D cursor here. Then select this one. Shift plus S selection to cursor. This will place it something like this. Then S to scale. I'm gonna scale this to here. Control plus A scale. Select this. I'm gonna rename this using F2. Now we need to make a rope so that we can place it here. Shift plus S, cursor to world origin. Shift plus A, mesh circle. Go to this operator panel. I'm gonna change this vertices to 8. We can change the radius later. Then go to local view using /. Go to top view. Go to edit mode using tab. Go to vertex selection mode. Shift plus D, X to move along X axis. Place it here. Select both of them. Shift plus D again. Y to move along Y axis and place it here. Turn on snapping. Change it to vertex. Select this vertex. G to move. Snap it to that. Select the ones in the middle. Press X in the keyboard, select vertices. Then select this, press X in the keyboard, select vertices. Now select all using a key, press M in the keyboard, select by distance. You'll get a message says removed 4 vertices. Now go to object mode using tab, select this circle, right click, set origin to geometry. Then press Alt plus G in the keyboard to remove any movement so that we can place it at the center of the scene. Go to edit mode, select all, S to scale. Go to object mode, select that one, add modifier, screw modifier, then change this screw to 1. As you can see, it's really small. I'm gonna change this viewport and render to 8. Go to the normals in the screw modifier properties and turn on the flip and select this. Go to edit mode using tab, S to scale a little, period kinda number, zoom into that one. So you can see we got a nice rope like this. Go to object mode, come out of local view using /. It's too big as you can see. Go to edit mode, S to scale and scale it to make a rope size like this. Then come out of edit mode using tab. You can change this screw length after we're done with making the spiral here. So now we need to add a curve. So in order to do that, go to edit preferences, type in curve. Go to add-ons and type in curve here and make sure the add curve tools and add curve extra objects is turned on. Then close this window, shift plus A, curve spirals, Archimedean. Go to this properties window, change this height to 1, steps to 8 since we don't need that many vertices, turns to 8. Then change this radius to 0.1. I'm gonna change this height to make something like this. Maybe change it to 0.1 so that we can place it here. Height 0.08. Minimize this window. Go to object mode. Then go to edit mode again. Select all using a key. Since we are in the individual origins, turn this to median point. R to rotate, Y to rotate among Y axis 90 degree. Press enter. Go to front view using number 1. Need to move this here. Turn off snapping. G to move. Z to move. And place it here. Go to side view using number 3. Make sure it's in the middle like this. Move it along the Z axis to place it at the center to make something like this. Now select this, shift to select this, G to move, X to move along X axis, place it here. Select this, G to move, X to move along X axis, place it here. G to move, Z to move along Z axis. And make it inside a cylinder to make a rope go inside this. Select this face, shift to select this one, go to side view using number 3, G to move and move it to here. Now E to extrude again. Then go to object mode using tab. If you want, you can add more resolution while we are adding this curve. I think I'm satisfied with this result though. So you can see this is a little small. So select this, go to edit mode again. Go to side view using number 3, select this, go to X-ray mode, select this once. I'm gonna scale this a little, S to scale, come out of X-ray mode. Ctrl plus Z, You don't need to scale along the x-axis. Go to side view again. Just to scale, shift X to not to scale along x-axis and place it here. Then go to object mode. So select this curve first. Press F2 in the keyboard. Change this name to rope curve. Then select this one. Press F2. Change the name to rope. Then select this one. We need to add a curve modifier. So go to add modifier properties. This range icon, add modifier, curve modifier. Then change this curve object to rope curve. Then change this axis to Z. Go to the screw modifier. Change this iteration to make this something like this. So you can see we got something like this. You can decrease this scale to make our rope look more good. I'm going to change this to 0.4. As you can see, it will increase the poly count though. But since it's a modifier, I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to change this to something like this. You can change this viewport and render steps to increase the resolution for this rope to make it look good if you're going for a high poly scene. But I am satisfied with this result though. Now we need to add a rock store scene to place it here and there, and a plant so that we can place it in this scene. We need to add a cube. Shift plus A, mesh, cube. Press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to rock. Then press enter. Need to move this to a new collection. Press M in the keyboard. Click new collection. Change the name to rocks. Then click OK. Select this cube. Press / in the keyboard to isolate this. Add modifier. Subdivision surface modifier. Reduce the render and viewport to 1. Then apply this modifier. You will apply the modifier to this cube. Select this cube. Go to edit mode using tab. We don't need these faces. So go to face selection mode. Select these faces. Press X in the keyboard. Select faces. This will delete that faces as you can see. Now we need to make this into a rock shape. So you can go to here and turn on proportional editing. Go to vertex selection mode. Select this, G to move, and make a random rock shape to make our rock. Go to object mode. We need to duplicate this 3 times. Shift plus D, X. Select this again. Shift plus D, X. Then we will have different looking rocks in our scene. Select all. Go to edit mode for all of them. Go to object mode, come out of local view using /. As you can see, these rows are really big. Select this, S to scale. Then Ctrl plus A, scale. Now we need to place these rocks in our scene properly. G to move, Shift Z and place it here. Then go to top view using numbered 7. Go to X-ray mode so that we can select it properly and place our rocks in our scene. We can duplicate this, scale this and rotate this to make interesting looking rocks in our scene. We need to make a plan so that we can place it here and there. So in order to do that, we need to add a plane. So Shift plus A, mesh, plane. Press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to plant. Press enter, press EM in the keyboard, click new collection, plant. Then click OK. Go to local view using /. Go to edit mode using tab. Go to top view. Need to add loop cuts in this model. Ctrl plus R. Increase the number to a 5. Left click, right click. Go to X-ray mode. Turn on proportional editing. S to scale. We need to add 3 loop cuts. Ctrl plus R. Increase the number to 3. Left click, right click. Turn off proportional editing. Alt left click this one. Shift alt left click this one. Change this to median point. S to scale, X to scale among X axis and place it here. Alt left click the middle one. Control box select to deselect this. Tip vertices. Go to side view using number 3. G to move, Z to move and place it here. Select this one, G to move, Z to move and place it here. Come out of X-ray mode, go to top view, go to X-ray mode again. Select this one, E to extrude, Y to extrude among Y axis, S to scale a little. Now we need to make this a leaf shape. So go to side view using number 3, turn on X-ray mode, select these ones, turn on proportional editing. G to move, Z to move along Z axis. Then change this to 3D cursor since 3D cursor here. Art rotate. Now select all using a key, turn off proportion editing, E to extrude and extrude it to give it a little thickness. You can add a solidify modifier or a subdivision modifier, but I am going for the low poly look. So go to object mode using tab. We need to add a array modifier to this one. Before we do that, we need to add an empty, shift plus A, empty plane axis. Press F2 in the keyboard, change this to plant axis. Press enter, press M in the keyboard, select this collection plant. This will move that to the plant collection. Select this one, add modifier, array modifier, grease the number to 5. Then turn this relative offset off and turn on object offset and change this object name to plant axis. Then select TMT, R to rotate, Z to rotate among Z axis and rotate it to here. Then go to top view. Now we have an interesting looking plant as you can see. Now select all this, shift plus D to duplicate, Y to move along Y axis, place it here, shift plus D again, Y to move along Y axis. Then shift plus D again, Y to move along Y axis, place it here so that we can make 4 types of plants. Select this empty, S to scale. As you can see, this will increase the leaf size of our plant. Select this one, select this leaf, S to scale this leaf a little, place it something like this. That's an interesting looking one. Select this one. Select this one. I'm gonna increase the number to 10. Select TMT, S to scale, G to move, Z to move along Z axis. Now we have something like this. R to rotate, Z to rotate to make our plant a lot of leaves like this. Select this. I'm gonna increase this to 7. This empty, R to rotate, Z to rotate and select this like this. You can change the leaf if you want by going to edit mode using tab, select all, S to scale, X to scale to make our leaf shape looks like this, and select this one by going to edit mode using tab, select all using a key, S to scale, X to scale among X axis and S to scale, Y to scale among Y axis and make something like this. Select this one, go to edit mode, select all, S to scale, X to scale among X axis. Go to object mode. Now we have 4 types of plants in our scene. Now we can place this in our scene according to our preferences. Come out of local view using /. As you can see, these are all little big. Since that are all selected, S to scale, go to top using number 7, G to move, X to move along X axis, place it here. Select the plane. You need to hide this plane. Press H in the keyboard to hide this. Go to X-ray mode so that we can select it easily. Make sure the empty is selected with the plants. Maybe we can place this on this plane. So Alt plus H to unhide everything. Select these plants. Make sure the empty is selected too. Control box, select the plane. Shift plus D to duplicate. Place it here. Shift plus D again. Place it here. Now we need to place this here. Select the plane. Press H to hide. Go to X-ray mode so that we can select everything easily. G to move. Now we need to make roof tiles. So in order to do that, we need to add a plane, shift plus A, mesh, plane. Select the plane, press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to roof tile, press enter, press M in the keyboard, create a new collection, change the name to roof tiles and press enter. Okay, now go to local view using /, go to top view using number 7, go to edit mode using tab, select all using a key, S to scale, 0.2, press enter. is to scale among x-axis 0.5, enter. Is to scale among y-axis 0.8, enter. Now we need to place 6 loop cuts here. Control plus R, increase the number to 6, left click, right click. Now go to edge selection mode, select this edge, GG to slide the loop cut to here. Now we need to place 2 loop cuts here. Control plus R, left click, slide it to here. Then Control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. Then Control plus R again, left click, slide it to here. Shift to select these 3 edges, go to top view, G to move, Y to move along y-axis and place it here. Go to vertex selection mode, select this vertex, G to move, Y to move along y-axis. Now go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select this face, G to move, Z to move along Z axis and place it here. Select this face, G to move, Z to move and place it here. Make sure it's not on the same level. Select this middle edge, G to move, Z to move and move it a little. We need to place a loop cut here. So Control plus R, left click, slide it to here. And select these faces by going to face selection mode. Select this, Control, select this face loop, G to move, Z to move and move it a little. Select this, I to insert, then G to move, Z to move and move it a little. Select all using a key, E to extrude and extrude it a little to make something like this. Hold the left click this edge loop, going to edge selection mode, G to move, Z to move along Z axis, move it a little. Go to object mode again, come out of local view using forward slash, go to top view, G to move and move it to here, S to scale and scale it a little. Go to side view using number 3, G to move and place it here. Now we can duplicate this. I'm gonna add an array modifier though, that's easier. So select this, add modifier, array modifier. So select this, go to edit mode using tab, select this face using face selection mode, Control plus to increase the selection, then Control plus minus and decrease it to here. G to move, Z to move along Z axis and make something like this. Now it's looking good. Go to object mode again. I'm gonna change this to 0.85. That's too much. So 0.89. Now it's looking good. Now we need to increase the count and increase it to 12. Then go to top view, G to move, X to move and place it here, which means we need to arrange this position. Go to edit mode for this one, select this, Control plus to increase the selection to here, G to move, X to move and move it to here to make it more interesting. Then go to object mode again, select this, go to side view, you need to duplicate this and place it appropriately. Shift plus D to duplicate. Select this, go to edit mode using tab, go to X-ray mode. I'm going to select these faces alone, G to move and place it here, which is a good position I think. So do the same here. Come out of X-ray mode, go to object mode using tab, then go to top view, select this one, G to move, X to move and place it so that it's not aligned in the same position. You want, you can arrange the position a little different according to your preferences. Now we need to make this into a single object and duplicate this. So shift to select all this, then object, convert, mesh. This will apply the modifier to all of them. Then select all this, Then I'm going to select the middle one last so that it's the active object. Then Control plus J in the keyboard. This will join that into a single object, as you can see. So select this, go to edit mode using tab, select all using a key, go to vertex selection mode, then go to this menu, mesh, transform, randomize, then change this, go to this properties window, change this amount to 0.008. Since I need only a teeny tiny randomization. If it's too much randomization, face orientation will be ruined. So in order to check that, go to this overlays and turn on face orientation. So you can see we got a little problem here and there. Need to correct that. Go to face selection mode. Select this face, G to move. Then go to turn off face orientation. Go to object mode using tab. Now we need to duplicate this and place it on the other side. So in order to do that, go to side view using number 3. Change this to median point. Shift plus D to duplicate. Right click to cancel. R to rotate. Z to rotate 180%. Then G to move, Y to move along y-axis and place it here. So you can see, go to top view, G to move, X to move and place it in an appropriate position like this. Now we got roof tiles to our scene. As you can see, now we got a nice looking well scene. Then save the file, save. Now we're gonna apply material to our well scene and add an HDRI and lighting. So before we do that, we need to make sure everything is in the correct collection. Since this is all well bricks, so you can see this is not in the proper collection. Mirror point 1, we need to move this empty to new collection. Select this one, press M in the keyboard, change this to wooden beams. This will move the wooden beams collection since we use that empty for that. Select this, we need to move this to the rope collection. Press M in the keyboard, new collection or rope, then click OK. Now we need to move the curve, rope curve, press M in the keyboard, change it to rope. This will move it to the rope collection. Select the ground, press M in the keyboard, new collection, change the name to well, then click OK. Select this one, press M, change it to well. This will move to the well collection. Select this. We need to move this to a new collection. Press M in the keyboard, new collection, and click OK. Now we are going to apply materials to our well. First we are going to apply a material to our roof tile. So select this, go to shading tab. Now we need to make sure an add-on is enabled. So go to edit, preferences, go to add-ons, type in node and make sure this node wrangler add-on is enabled. Make sure there is a tick in this box. Then close this window. Select this, click new. Change this name to roof tile. Now we're going to do a mixed material. So select this, move it to here. So now we need to add a mixed RGB, shift plus A, color, mix RGB and place it here. Now we need to add a color ramp, shift plus A, converter, color ramp, place it here. Then a noise texture, shift plus A, texture, noise texture. Then select this, control plus T in the keyboard. This will add a texture coordinate node, as you can see. Now we need to change this color to the factor of the color ramp, color to the factor, then this color to the base color. Now we need to add two colors. So select this one. I'm gonna select the first one to a light brown and the second one to a dark brown. Now select this color ramp, control shift and left click on this one. This will show that color ramp value. Then I'm going to change this scale, something like this. And I'm gonna change this to here so that there will be more like this. Control shift and left click on the principal BSDF. Maybe you can change this color a little. I like this color. We got an old tile look. Now we need to add a bump map. So you can see this is all flat right now. Before we do that, I'm going to decrease the specular. Then I'm going to increase the roughness to something like this. Since I don't want any shiny effect on my roof tile, I'm going to increase the roughness to here. Now we need to add a bump map. So shift plus A, vector bump, then place it here and connect this normal to normal and the output of this color ramp to the height. I connected the output of the color ramp to the height. There is a lot more bump. We don't need this much. I'm going to change this to 0.1. That's not good. I'm going to change this to 0.2. So you can see we can't see anything. We need to go to rendered mode. So in order to do that, go to this object, change this to world. Then select this. Control plus T in the keyboard. This will add an environmental texture as you can see. Now we need to download an HDRI. You can download free HDRIs from Polyhaven. I have provided a link in the video description. So I'm going to open an HDRI. Open. I downloaded this HDRI before. You can see the name here. You can download that exact one if you want. I downloaded this from Polyhaven. Then open image. Then go to rendered mode. As you can see, we got an HDRI in our background. As you can see, there is a little bump in our roof tile. Then go to the cycles render engine. Go to render properties. Change this to cycles. Then change this to GPU compute. Now we can see our bump clearly like this. Then go to the object. I'm gonna duplicate these two. So shift plus D to duplicate. Place it here. Connect this vector to this vector. And I'm going to connect this bump color to the height of this bump map. Control shift and left click on this color ramp. Go to material preview as my viewport is slowing down. Now control shift and left click on this one, principal BSDF. Go to the rendered view. Now we go to proper bump to our roof tile. As you can see, this is looking like a proper roof tile right now. You can play with this bump map and the values if you want, according to your preferences. You can change the roof tile color here if you want to. So now we need to apply the roof tile to this one. Select this. Go to this drop down, change this to roof tile. This will apply the roof tile material to that one too. So you can see there is a shadow in this region. That's because our HDRI is lighting from this side. We will add a sun lamp at the end of the video to use 3-point lighting. But for now, we're going to stick to this HDRI. Now we're going to apply material to this one. So select this, go to material preview as my viewport is slowing down a lot. Click new, change this to wood and press enter. Now we need to add a mix RGB, shift plus A, color, mix RGB, place it here, shift plus A, converter, color ramp, place it here, shift plus A, texture. I'm gonna add a wave texture and place it here. You can add different kinds of textures if you want. I'm going to add a wave texture though. Select this one, Control plus T in the keyboard. This will add a texture coordinate and a mapping node. Then connect this color to factor, then color to base color. I'm going to decrease the specular to something like this, roughness to something like this. Then I'm going to change this color. Now we need to apply this texture properly. So in order to do that, going to change this to diagonal, change this to bands. Scale, I'm going to increase the scale significantly to something like this. Then I'm going to increase the distortion. So select this. Now we need to add a bump map. As you can see, this is little flat at the moment. So shift plus A, vector, bump, place it here, connect the normal to normal. Now we need to duplicate this to shift plus D to duplicate, place it here, color to height. So you can see it's looking like this. If I go to change this, I'm gonna change this to here, to here. Going to remove this for now in order to adjust this one. Now connect this back. So you can see there is a lot more bump here. We don't need this much. 0.2. You can see it clearly by going to rendered mode. Connect this vector output to this vector. It's looking good. Think I'm satisfied with this value. If you want, you can see my values here for both my wave textures. Go to material preview mode as my viewport is slowing down. Now we need to apply material to this one. So select this. We need to add the wood material to this one. So select this, change it to wood. Now we need to add a metal material here. So in order to do that, we need to add a new slot. So go to here, click plus icon, select that slot, click new, change this to metal. I'm gonna change this color to something like this. Then change this metallic to 1, specular a little. Roughness, I'm gonna reduce it to something like this. I think that's look good. Now select this, go to edit mode using tab, hold to left click this one, control plus to increase the selection. Select the metal material, click assign. Go to rendered mode to see the material properly. You don't need this much reflection. Select this face, control plus to increase the selection, plus minus, and reduce it to here. To metal material, click assign. Select this, press EL in the keyboard, go to this menu, change metal, click assign. Hold left click this one, shift hold left click this one, control plus to increase the selection to here. Select the metal material, click assign. Then go to object mode using tab. Now it's looking like this. Go to material preview mode, select this one, click plus icon, create a new slot. Select the first slot, go to this menu, change it to wood. Select the second slot, change it to metal. Select this, go to edit mode using tab, hold left click this one, shift hold left click this one, control plus to increase the selection. Select the metal material, click assign. Hold left click this one, control plus to increase the selection to here, change it to metal material. Then select this face, control plus to increase the selection to here, assign the metal material. So go to object mode, I'm gonna change this color. So select this one, select the wood material, new material, then change this to wood 2. I'm gonna change this color a little. Now select the rope, click new, change this to rope. Then go to rendered mode. We can add a bump map to this if you want. Since this metal material is a little too much reflective, it's looking good. And go to material preview mode, save the file. We need to assign material to a well. So select this one, go to this menu, create 4 new slots. Select the first one, click new, change this to brick 1. Gonna change this color. Then select the second slot, click new, change it to brick 2. Then select this one, click new, change this name to brick 3. Then select the fourth slot, click new, change this name to brick 4. So you can see we got 4 materials. Now we need to assign the material to this one properly. So select this, go to /, go to edit mode using tab, select this phrase, press H to hide since we don't need to apply material to that one. Go to view, go to X-ray mode as this is easier to select them. Since we assigned the material 4 of them to this one, so select this, shift to select these ones, shift to select this one last, then control plus L, link materials. As you can see, this will link the material to all of them. Then we can assign them properly. Select all of this, then go to edit mode using tab. Now go to select random, This will select random faces. Then select the brick 1, click assign. Select random, brick 3, click assign. Select random, brick 4, click assign. Now we got something like this. Select random, brick 1, click assign. You can assign different materials to the different faces of the well this way easily. I will come back to this well and apply the materials properly after I am done with applying materials to everything else, since it's going to take a lot of time. Now we need to apply material to the rest of them. So select the rocks, click new, change this to rock. Go to the rock collection, select the rock collection, right click, select objects. This will select the rock objects as you can see. Shift to select this one to make sure this is an active object. Then Control plus L in the keyboard, link materials. This will link the rock material to the rest of the rocks as you can see. Now we need to assign material to this plant. So select this one. I think I'm going to select something with large leaf, this one, as it's more easier to see that one. Period key to focus on it. Now click new, change this name to plant 1. Now we need to add a mix RGB, shift plus A, color, mix RGB, place it here, shift plus A. We need to add a color ramp, converter, color ramp. We need to add a noise texture, shift plus A, texture, noise texture, place it here. Now we need to select this, Control T in the keyboard. This will add a text coordinate and a mapping node. Change this to factor, color to factor, color to base color. We need to change this color to a green. Now Control Shift and left click on this one to see the texture. Then Control Shift and left click on this one. Now we got striped leaf like this. We need to add a translucent texture to it. So Shift plus A, shader, translucent BSDF, place it here. We need to add a mix shader so that we can mix these two together. Shift plus A, shader, mix shader, place it here. Connect this to the bottom. I think it's connected to the top. Then I'm gonna change this to yellow color to make it a little transparent. We need to duplicate this one, shift plus D to duplicate, place it here, change this color to factor for the mix shader. Now we need to see this, Control Shift and left click on this one. We don't need this much. Control Shift and left click on this mix shader. I think I'm going to reduce this though. We got an interesting looking plant like this. Then save the file, save. Now I'm going to create a new material for another plant. Click new, change this name to plant 2 and select this. We need to add the same nodes before. Shift plus A, color, mix RGB. Then Shift plus A, texture, Musgrave texture. Shift plus A, converter, color ramp. As you can see, it's looking like this now. Place it here, and we need to add a text coordinate and mapping node. Control and T in the keyboard. Change this to factor, place it in color, sorry. So I'm going to select this to green, something like this. Then I'm going to change this to red. Control Shift and left click on this one to see it clearly. And we need to add a translucency texture. Shift plus A, shader, translucent BSDF, place it here. Shift plus A, shader, mix shader, place it here. Connect this to the bottom and connect this to the top. My viewport is slowing down because I'm using the cycles render engine. Then change this color to yellow. We don't need this much translucency. So in order to do that, change this color to the factor. So you can see we only get translucency for our green texture. If you want, you can do that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add another noise texture. Shift plus A, texture, noise texture, place it here. Shift plus A, converter, color ramp, place it here. Go to material preview mode. Control Shift and left click on this color ramp. Then Control Shift and left click on this one. Go to rendered view. Go to material preview mode. And we need to arrange our nodes properly. Select this one. Save the file, save. Go to material preview mode. Select this one, click new, change this to well base. Select this plane, click new, change this to ground. Now we need to assign the material to this one. Select this. Then select this one last. Control plus EL in the keyboard, link materials. Select the rest of the ones. Select this one last. Control plus L in the keyboard, link materials. Now we got two types of plants in our scene. As you can see, our brick is shiny at the moment. So select this one, go to here. This is easier. Select the brick one, increase the roughness to something like this, reduce the specular. Now material is looking good. Select this one, increase the roughness. Select this, Shift plus A, vector, bump, place it here, normal to normal, Shift plus A, texture, musgrave texture, Shift plus A, converter, color ramp, place it here, color to the height, then height to factor. Control Shift and left click on this one to see it clearly. Going to increase the scale to something like this. Now go to rendered mode, Control Shift and left click on the principal VSDF. So you can see it's looking like this now. We don't need this many bump, so change this to 0.2. As you can see, it's looking good now. Select the plane. I'm going to add a bump to that too. Material preview mode, Shift plus A, converter, color ramp, Shift plus A, texture, noise texture, Shift plus A, vector, bump, place it here. Control Shift and left click on this one. Then save the file, save. Go to material preview mode. Now we need to add lighting to our scene. Go to layout mode. We need to add a camera first. We forgot to add a water inside the well, so select this one. Go to shading tab. Go to this slot, click a new material. Select the slot, click new, change this to water. I'm going to change the base color to a blue color like this. Then go to edit mode using tab, isolate this, facing forward slash. We hide that face, Alt plus H in the keyboard to unhide this. Select this face, select the water material, click assign. Come out of forward slash, go to rendered view. So you can see we got water. Now we need to add 3-point lighting so that this shadow will be a little less sharp. So in order to do that, go to layout mode. You need to add a camera first. Come out of edit mode using tab, Shift plus A, camera. We added a camera, then Control Alt and numbered 0 to place the camera in a proper position. Then Shift plus grave key to move the camera. S to zoom out and place it to this position like this. A to go to left, D to go to right, and place it to something like this. Looks good. Select the plane, S to scale, and scale it to something like this. Then Alt rotate, Z to rotate among Z axis. Make sure it's a straight line like this. If you go to rendered mode, go to solid mode. Now we need to add lighting to our scene. Select the camera, press EM in the keyboard, click in your collection, camera and lighting. Then click OK. Shift plus A, light, sunlight. Then go to top using numbered 7. G to move, I'm going to place one here. Then Shift D to duplicate, and to place one at the front here. Then Shift plus D again, and to place one here to make a shadow from here. Select this, Shift select this ones. Go to front view using numbered 1, G to move, Z to move, and place it here. Then select this, Alt rotate. I'm going to select this one, go to object data properties, then I'm going to change this value to 1.1, and I'm going to change that color to a little something like this. Select this one, going to change this to a bluey color, and I'm going to change this to 1.5, and select this one, I'm going to change this to a orange color, nearly orange, then I'm going to change it to 2.2. And if you go to rendered mode, as you can see, some plants are above the ground. Go to front view using numbered 1. Go to solid mode as it sees here. Make sure the empty is selected too. If you go to camera view using numbered 0, go to rendered mode. Now I'm going to tweak this brick material a little. I'll be back once I arrange the material properly. As you can see, I arranged my brick material properly. Go to camera view using numbered 0. You can add a sky text in the background if you want. You can download free textures from pixels.com. I'm gonna go to pixels.com. Type in sunrise. I think I like this one. You can see the name here. We need to add that image to here. In order to do that, we need to enable an add-on, edit, preferences, type in image. Make sure import images as planes is enabled. Then close this window, Shift plus A, images as planes. Then select that image you downloaded. Select the camera, press N in the keyboard. Go to item, then select this rotation of the Z value, then select this, Control plus C in the keyboard to copy that value. Select the plane we just imported, select that one, select the rotation Z value, then Control plus V in the keyboard to copy that. Then press N in the keyboard. Now we need to move this to here, go to top view, G to move, and place it here, turn off snapping, S to scale, and scale it like this. Now go to camera view using numbered 0, select the camera, select this one, G to move, Z to move along Z axis, and place it here. So select that one, go to shading tab, select this one, place it here. We need to add a hue saturation value, Shift plus A, color, hue saturation value, place it here. I'm going to increase the saturation a little. Then I'm going to increase the value 2.2. 1.6 saturation. We don't need to change the hue. Then go to layout mode, go to camera view using numbered 0, go to rendered mode, then save the file, save. You can change this background image according to your preferences if you want. Since I like this position, I'm going to place it here. Then you can render the scene. So in order to do that, go to render properties. You can change this to cycles or EV if you want. I'm going to render it as cycles. Then change this to GPU compute or CPU. GPU compute, which uses the GPU in your computer. If you have a GPU, you can find out it here. Go to edit preferences, then go to system, then cycles render devices. You can find your GPU here, graphics card here. I have a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti graphics card and a Intel Core i5. If you have an RTX card, you can see it here. This is CUDA, which is supported for GPU with the GTX graphics card. Then autosave preferences is turned on. Then close this window. This is the maximum samples for render. Default will be 4096. You can change this to according to your preferences. You can set a time limit here if you want. Make sure the denoise is turned on in the render. This will remove the noise in the background. If you want to render it as a transparent background image, you can go to this film and change this to transparent. Since we added a background sky image here, this will be our background. You can delete this and render it using a transparent background like this if you want. But I'm not going to do that though. You can change the tile size here if you want. But I'm not going to change any of that. Then go to this color management. I'm going to change this look to high contrast. As you can see, it's looking a lot better with high contrast. Then go here. We don't need to change any of this. Then go to this output properties. You can change the resolution here. I'm going to render it as an HD, which is 1920 by 1080. We don't need to worry about any of this. If you're going to render it using transparent background, you need to select this RGBA. Then the file format is PNG image. You don't need to worry about the FPS or anything since we are going to render it as a single image. Then go to render. I'm going to reduce this samples to 1000 as I think that's enough to render the scene. Then go to file, save. Make sure you always save your file before rendering. Then render image. Now this will start to render your image as you can see. I'll be back once my render is complete. As you can see, my render is complete. This is my final render. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video so far, please give a like to this video in the bottom. And if you're new to this channel and you want to get more videos like this, you can subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button at the bottom. And if you want to get notified while I release new videos, you can press the bell icon below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.